Here's KATC Chief Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, we are certainly in the dog days of summer. A relatively quiet pattern, but still the risk of late afternoon storms. We saw that over towards southwest Louisiana this afternoon. We'll see it for the rest of Acadiana tomorrow. I've upped the rain chances closer to 30%. And as we head toward the weekend, not much change in the pattern. So let's take a look at that pattern right now as we look at the upper level features. And we have high pressure over the southwest, low pressure trough from Canada spanning all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. And that's brought the drier air across the region, and that's allowed for at least bluer skies and for the most part relatively dry weather. But late this afternoon you can see storms flaring up across the area. That came from a disturbance. This is a 12-hour loop that was up here by the Texas-Oklahoma panhandle, then manifesting here locally in the afternoon. Now tomorrow we'll be watching the storms right now that are over by Colorado. An impulse here that's going to be racing southward, and by this time tomorrow afternoon for sure it's going to reach Louisiana, and that may spark off a few more afternoon showers and storms. We had some healthy ones across the area from southeast Texas into southwest Louisiana, but the activity pretty much winding down with the exception of the southeastern county of Texas, down by and southwest of Port Arthur and by Sabine Pass, and elsewhere lighter rains and diminishing across the coastal areas. A nice little thunderstorm by Chenier, Antigua, and south of Intracoastal City. This is moving into the Gulf and will be dissipating shortly, but this thunderstorm activity casting some clouds in the area. You can see it popping up right here, and hopefully those clouds diminish enough so we can squeeze in a nice little sunset in about an hour and a half or so. Sunset, by the way, now 7:59, so we're losing about a minute to 2 minutes every day of daylight now that we're past that summer solstice. Now, as for the tropics, relatively quiet coming up tonight at 10. We'll go over to Africa and check that out, but meanwhile locally not a whole lot going on. Very limited potential for this system and the chance of this developing, dropping that south and west of Bermuda. Meanwhile, tropical storm Isaias gradually winding down all the way up here by the Adirondacks now, probably where the line is. This was the 4 o'clock bulletin, still with 65-mile-an-hour winds. And you get a storm that's racing to the north at 40, not much wind behind it, but on this side, if you have a 30 or 40-mile-an-hour wind, you can generate an 80-mile-an-hour gust, and that's what they saw out on Long Island, coastal New Jersey, and all the way down along the coast. Very interesting storm system. This gets into Canada later on tonight and then dissipates in northeastern Canada way up there. Meanwhile, locally for us, things quieting down this evening. Fair skies through tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow mostly sunny early, but here come the storms rolling in from the northwest. We'll be on the lookout for those. Maybe some strong storms that could produce gusty winds and frequent lightning, so we'll keep an eye on that. Things begin to quiet down into tomorrow evening, and then we do it all over again on Thursday, although I think rain chance Thursday closer to 20% and limited mainly towards southwest Louisiana. So a relatively nice evening with fair skies later on. Temperatures should be a little bit below normal. The models have been insisting lower 70s, but we only got down into the mid 70s last night, so we'll see. 93 the high tomorrow with scattered afternoon storms. Typical summer day. Here we go as we go into the 10-day forecast. Not much change. Rain chance 20% or less into Saturday, maybe perking up a little bit by Sunday, if not as we go into next week with a little bit more in the way of moisture, which will translate to a better chance of storms. But this forecast looks straight up like August. After all, it is August, but only a couple of months to go before that first fall cool front gets here, Marcel.
We can feel it already.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.